We're going to talk about functions now. In math, we have a lot of occasions to connect two sets of data using a variety of different representations like tables, graphs, or ordered pairs. And we called these connections relations, and we typically have some way of relating a set, one of the sets, which we call inputs, to the other set, which would be the outputs. And so a specific kind of relation that we have is called a function, and functions are really important in math. The thing that's important about a function is that each input has exactly one output. So basically, you want to think of a function like it's a machine. And so I, in particular, like to think of it like a washing machine, which is what I have pictured here. And so think about it. If you have an input, say you put in a sock into the washing machine, then your output that you get, it should still be a sock, right? You put one thing in to your machine and you get one thing out. You don't put a sock in and then all of a sudden you've got a sock and a pair of pants, unless you left it there and didn't realize it or something. But I mean, I think you can get the gist there, that what matters is that every single input has to have exactly one output, and that's what makes it a function. The set of inputs is called the domain, and that has to do with the x values of our function. So if we're in ordered pairs or we have a graph or whatever, input and x values and domain all mean the same thing. The set of output is called the range, which has to do with the y values of the function. So one thing they're going to ask us to do with this is they're going to ask us to determine whether some relationships are functions. So here I have a couple of examples. This first example, you see we've got 3, 4, and 7 in our domain, 5, 8, and 9 in our range. These arrows are showing us the relationship that we have between our domain and our range. Well, in order for this to be a function, each input has to have exactly one output, which if you look, each input has exactly one arrow pointing to something in our range. So yes, this first one is a function. The second one, we have the same domain and range, but our arrows are a little bit different. 3 goes to 8, 4 goes to 5 and 9. So think about it, if we put 4 into whatever machine that this function is, we put in 4, but we're getting out 2 different answers. That means that this is not a function. Anytime that we put in something, we should only get one answer if it's a function. So that makes it not a function.